The question is, Atma Jnana or self-knowledge is direct. Tattvamasi knowledge is direct. Why do we need any spiritual sadhana at all? Is it required? When it says Jnanagni Dagda Karmani, the fire of knowledge burns all karma. Nahi Jnanena Sadasham Pavitram Mihi Mudyate. Nothing is more purifying than Jnana. Is a reason for sadhana. This is the question. So now, the answer is, Jnana is liberating. Jnana is direct. But can everybody receive Jnana? Is everybody in the position to receive Jnana? So receiving Jnana requires certain state of frame of mind. To come to the frame of mind, sadhana is required. Without the frame of mind, we cannot receive and understand the highest philosophical truths. The sadhana is required to prepare you for Jnana. Prepare you for wisdom. That's why prescription in Sanatana Dharma is you have to do Karma Yoga, Upasana or Kriya Yoga or a combination of all the three to make your mind calm, Chitta Shuddhi, and receive Jnana from a Sadguru or enlightened master. Is that clear to all? Anybody has a question on this? In Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna gives Jnana in the second chapter directly, then gives a Karma Yoga. So the Bhagavad Gita approach is Brahma Vidya Yoga Shastra. Give the knowledge of the self. Jnana is important. Then application of Jnana is given as Yoga Shastra. So now, if a person had come with the poor Chitta Shuddhi, Jnana would have been straight. You give Jnana, he would have understood it and he is realized. Whereas Arjuna has come with the full of Rajasic mind, for him, Jnana is given, told Brahma Vidya, you have to realize the self. Then, for realizing self with Jnana, you apply in the form of yoga, Karma Yoga or Bhakti Yoga or Kriya Yoga. Make the mind calm, continue Shravana Manana Nidhyasa and realize the self. So it can, if you either you have pure mind, then receive Jnana, be free. If the mind is not ready, receive Jnana, mature yourself through yoga and get established in Jnana. Is that clear?
Or is it because with Jnana your sadhana will become more?
Yeah. So the question is it told because with Jnana, your sadhana will become more sharper and clear. See, in today, many people do practice spiritual sadhana. I meditate for last 20 years. I did self-enquiry for last 15 years. Like that people say. The sadhana in common man's language has become a mechanical practice. The mechanical practice can help momentarily. Temporarily, if you do a couple of breathing practice or meditation, it can help you. But the purpose of all spiritual practices is freedom from the mind, freedom from suffering in the mind, which requires a good amount of jnana. Any sadhana with jnana, which will be much more efficient, much more clearer, compared to a sadhana without jnana. Sadhana without jnana is temporary because you don't know what you are doing, why you are doing. You would keep doing as a mechanical practice, unconsciously. Whereas sadhana with jnana, you know exactly why you are doing what, and your sadhana will be much more stable, much more evolutionary. Is that clear? Anybody has a question on Zoom?
Clear, Prabhuji.
In this case, he is not.
This case, second case, God. But he didn't invite it. Because there was no church.
Who, Arjuna? Who is speaking?
Second scenario where Nana is given a question in Sadhana.
Yeah.
He is not ready for
No. See, the question is, there are two cases. One is who is ready for mature for jnana through sadhana, through shama, dhamma, titiksha, uprati, shraddha, samadhana. He comes and gets jnana and he gets liberated. That's one case, which is called,
Gurukula.
which is actually a mature seeker, we can call. Now, second type of seeker, he has no chitta shuddhi, but he has come. See, what happens in today's world, you can get 10 million books on Atma Dhyana. You are Brahman, you are God, books you can get. YouTube videos you can get. Somebody can pick up from somewhere. He can come to Dhyana in some ways. There's no pre-qualification required. In earlier days, or even if you go to a traditional guru, he will do pre-qualification. He'll give karma yoga, upasana before he gives Dhyana. But now, the system is so open, people can come to a path of Dhyana directly. Many people say that I attended satsang for 10 years, 15 years, but still their life has not changed because they have not done enough adequate inner work. So then, if jnana is given and they do inner work, that understanding of jnana becomes easier. Jnana is given by guru and karma yoga is prescribed, upasana is prescribed, or kriya yoga is prescribed. They do it, then jnana gets the understanding and maturity development becomes easier. Versus just keep listening satsanga, people go satsang after satsang, keep listening jnana, but no transformation happens within life. That's because the mind, chitta is not purified. So jnana, the earlier traditional way, jnana is given only for a mature qualified seeker. But now anybody can get it because in the modern day world, so better get the jnana and do inner work of karma yoga, upasana, so that jnana becomes established. That's what I call as current system, which is possible. Is it clear? Compared to earlier systems, you can't go back to earlier system. Any questions on Zoom? So now the question is, what is spiritual sadhana? What is spiritual sadhana and how it becomes qualification for jnana? A jnana is direct. Tattvamasi, you are Brahman, is a direct knowledge. If somebody can get it, it's done. So jnana is not a practice. It is like I am in a dark room. If I switch on the light, how much time it will take for me to understand what is there in the room? No time. So jnana is like switching on a light. But the challenge is, light can be switched on. Okay? But where is the switch to find out? You don't know. Even if you switch on, the light is dim. So this all happens because the person is not emotionally mature. The emotional maturity is required for getting jnana. This I call as purity of the heart and clarity of the intellect. Purity of the heart is emotional maturity. Clarity of the intellect is jnana. So now, entire spiritual sadhana, what we call as sadhana, is for emotional maturity of the seeker. So that jnana is established fully. If without emotional maturity, jnana is not established fully. Even if you hear million times tattvamasi, still that maturity, still there's no understanding. There's no grasping of that. The spiritual, then a paradox will come. You are already Brahman. There are many teachers will say, you are already Brahman. You don't need to do any sadhana. Because you are Brahman, nothing to do, nowhere to go. If you listen to that, yes, nothing to do, I am already Brahman, but I am still suffering. Why I am suffering? Because there is no emotional maturity in me. There is raga and dvesha, attraction, repulsion in me. There is kama, krodha, mada, masara, moha, lobha is there. six enemies of a man are there in me. Then how can I accept myself Brahman? I can listen to some Brahma, the Tattvamasi, Brahmadana and all. But deep inside me, I cannot accept it. I am Brahman. My own consciousness will fight with me. So the spiritual seeking sadhana is required to calm down my mind. There are two minds, lower mind and higher mind. Lower mind is called mana, higher mind is called buddhi. Jnana is for buddhi and sadhana is for the lower mind, manas. The manas has raga and dvesha, attraction, repulsion. Manas is actually what is closely associated with the body or sense organs. Raga and dvesha and thoughts, continuous thoughts. These disturb the mind. Sadhana is required to calm down the mind so that jnana can be received clearly. This I would forget about Atma jnana. Let us go to ordinary jnana. If a child goes to the school, child's mind is restless. What knowledge he can receive? The restlessness of the mind has to be reduced so that you can focus on the subject matter, which is jnana. So that's why sadhana is prescribed to come out of the restlessness of the mind, lower mind, so that higher mind called buddhi can focus on wisdom. Is this clear to all? Anybody has a question?
Channantila, Guruji, like just now we were discussing certain things. We cannot tell the common man without that basic foundation, that little bit of knowledge about Atma Gnana or anything. We cannot actually talk anything and everything. So that requirement is necessary in that.
See, basically, in life, the question is, for anybody, we cannot tell anything. I mean, I'm saying teaching requires a qualification. For a person has to go to high school, the primary school is a qualification. High school is learning. I cannot put certain child into high school. Similarly, college going high school, SLC passing is a qualification. Every stage of life, some qualification is required. Without qualification, you cannot absorb it. For getting Atma Jnana, you need certain qualifications in life. The quality is required in life. That is called Shat Sampatti, or 6 spiritual qualities: Shama, Dama, Tidiksha, Uparati, Shraddha, Samadhana, Mumukshatva. Control of sense organs, control of the mind, ability to withstand pain, mind constantly going to higher truth, faith, balanced state of mind. These are required. Otherwise, Atma Jnana, which is subtle, doesn't settle in. Similarly, Atma Jnana is highest. But I cannot call Tom, Dick and Harry, come, listen to Atma Jnana, become Mukta. He can't. There's no qualification. Is that clear?
Correct. You also tell about these 3 types of Shishyas, no Guruji? Wet, dry, ripe and water.
The maturity of the seeker, for anything, qualification, maturity is required. There are 3, the question is, there are 3 different types of seekers. The teaching is also different for different types of seekers. There are 3 types of seekers called Beda, Abeda. Beda means somebody sees duality as reality. Beda means one sees oneness as reality. Abeda means non-duality. So the teachings are different for these 3 different type of people. Dvaita teaching is for Beda, Vishishtadvaita is for Beda, and Advaita teaching for someone who is seeking non-duality. We cannot mix them because they get confused. Similarly, seeker maturity is also different. A seeker who is very mature, who has fully developed spiritual qualities, Shama, Dama, Tidiksha, Uparati, Shraddha, Samadhana, Mumukshatva, he is called a dry wood. When he goes to the master, he gets teaching and he gets liberated. For him, it's said that Shravana Matrena, listening to the teaching, he'll get liberated because he's mature. He's like a ripe mango. It just a tap will fall. Whereas other type of seekers are there who are called wet wood. The master will have to give teaching and also prescribe some certain duties for him, so that karma yoga, upasana has to do, so that he becomes ready for, he absorbs the teaching much more easily. Then there are other type of students who are not eligible for teaching. There's no point in struggling for the teaching. So they don't have belief in the system or they don't have the ability. Do not worry about them. So dry wood and wet wood is what we focus on. Is the answer clear?
So it also depends on their previous life samskaras. Like for example, Purnima was telling the other day, a very young girl of 10 plus years was asking about these Vedantic teachings. So
Correct.
that means previous birth samskara also play a major role.
So when we say dry wood, it also depends on, it does not matter, age doesn't matter. A person can come from, a very young person can come with the deeper questions because they have done their spiritual sadhana in the past life. Is it clear? Or somebody has done in sadhana in this life also, we can become dry wood or wet wood.
We also watched one small girl talking with such maturity about this Bhagavad Gita teachings.
All those are past life samskaras. So now let us come to again the point. The lower mind has to be mature, emotionally mature, to get the spiritual knowledge. That is called Chitta Shuddhi. Purity of Chitta. Chitta means mind. The Sanskrit word Manas, Buddhi, Ahankara, Chitta together is called Antakarana. Chitta is the individual mind. Chitta is the word used for individual mind. It's a memory storehouse of recording of all vasana and samskara. So what happens in common man? Chitta gets prakshubda. Chitta gets agitated. The prana moves into chitta and creates continuous agitation. The prana is of the nature of rajoguna. The chitta gets agitated because of rajoguna. Continuous thoughts will come. Chain thoughts after thoughts after thought. Mind is full of thoughts. So mind full of thoughts, a person cannot focus on jnana. Person is in rajoguna. From rajoguna, he has to go to sattoguna. From tamoguna, which is laziness, rajoguna, which is hyperactivity, physical activity or hyperactivity mind, he has to go to sattoguna to receive jnana. Sattva means calmness of the mind. Sattoguna means calmness of the mind and sharp and intellect, buddhi. So both have to be achieved. Rajoguna has to be reduced, tamoguna has to be reduced, sattoguna has to be developed. I would say Atma Jnana is direct. You are already Brahman. But to realize Brahman, get established in Brahman, your mind has to be sattvic. Rajoguna and tamoguna has to be done, come down. The sattvic preparation of sattvic mind is called spiritual sadhana. It's a paradox. You are already Brahman, then why do you do sadhana? I'm already woman. Should I do some sadhana to become woman? No. You are already Brahman, but you don't recognize that. Even if you come to know, you can't accept it because of your agitated state of mind. It's called rajoguna. A right frame of mind is required for jnana. Preparing the right frame of mind takes time. Jnana does not take time. Preparing the mind for right frame of reference for receiving jnana takes time. That is actually tamoguna to rajoguna to sattoguna movement takes time. That is called sadhana. The definition of sadhana is tamoguna to rajoguna to sattoguna. Otherwise, in reality, sadhana is not required. Shodhana is required. Who am I search is required. Because you are already Brahman. But can everybody do who am I search? Sri Ramana Maharshi says, self-enquiry, who am I search, is only possible for a mature seeker. Mature seeker has a mature emotional state of mind to accept jnana. So, jnana itself does not take time. Jnana is direct and instantaneous. But prepare the mind for that frame of, prepare the mind for jnana called Chitta Shuddhi takes time. Chitta Shuddhi means tamoguna to rajoguna to sattoguna. Is that clear to all? Any questions? So how does one come to Sattva-guna? How does one come out of Tamo-guna to Rajo-guna to Sattva-guna? So Tamo-guna to Rajo-guna movement is, Tamo-guna means laziness. Tamo-guna to Rajo-guna movement happens if some activity is taken up. So Tamo-guna to Rajo-guna activity happens by taking up some selfish activity. I want this, I want this. So lazy person also start doing something. Rajoguna is activity, either physical activity or mental activity, hyper-mental physical activity or mental activity. The physical activity gradually have to convert into karma yoga, selfless service. So that helps in calming down the Rajoguna and Chitta Shuddhi, agitation of the mind. Because when you focus on work, gradually work which is selfless, service oriented, the mind will start calming down. Selfish work actually again create more agitation, because this result didn't come, that result, this person didn't help, that person didn't help. In karma yoga, all this agitation will settle down. Chitta Shuddhi starts happening. You can also do upasana. Upasana means meditating on a deity. So no, Chitta Shuddhi involves two parts. One is restless mind has to come to vasanas and sanskaras to come down and develop certain divine qualities. The divine qualities, yad bhavayati tad bhavati. Whatever you contemplate, you become that. So suppose whatever you meditate, you become that. You meditate on a deity of Rama, dharma will come in your life. Some divine qualities have to be developed. For that, upasana will help. Guru upasana will help. Guru is a mukta, liberated, gnani. If I want to become gnani, upasana of Guru will start, I start bringing that upasana of Guru qualities in my life. Upasana can help. Then Kriya Yoga can help. Kriya Yoga is pranayama. It's called Raja Yoga. You can take the prana. Prana is in the spinal cord. Then the mind is in Rajoguna and Tamoguna or Malina Sattva, impure Sattva. Prana taking to higher consciousness center, Atma Chakra, Brahmarandra will take the prana from Malina Sattva to Shuddha Sattva, pure Sattva. Pure Sattva will help you to absorb knowledge much more easily compared to Malina Sattva. Malina Sattva is Buddhi, our intellect is Buddhi. Buddhi is called Sattva-guna Pradhana. But Malina Sattva means Buddhi has Rajoguna and Tamoguna. Rajoguna and Tamoguna continuously, Rajoguna causes continuous thought process. Tamoguna causes laziness. From that you have to come to Sattva, so that your frame of receiving knowledge, getting established knowledge becomes easier. So from Tamoguna to Rajoguna you come, Rajoguna to Sattva-guna you can move. How? Karma Yoga, Upasana, or Raja Yoga or Kriya Yoga will take you to Sattva-guna. In Sattva-guna, you approach a master, realized master. Sattva-guna, you have come to Sattva-guna because Chitta Shuddhi is happening because of Karma Yoga, Upasana or Kriya Yoga or combination of these. With Sattva-guna you come to a master, realized master, who is enlightened, Brahmanishta, who is also capable teacher, Shrotriya. Then you get Gnana. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa will help you to liberate. But frame of mind has come to Rajoguna, Tamoguna Pradhana to Sattva-guna Pradhana. That's called spiritual sadhana. Is it clear to all? Anybody has a question? Purnima, Satyavati. Very summary. Gnana is liberating. But can everybody receive Gnana? They can receive Gnana, but they cannot digest Gnana. For digestion, you have a frame of mind is required. Manas has to be purified. That's why purity of the heart is required and clarity of the intellect is required. Purity of heart is called Chitta Shuddhi, which is actually from Rajoguna, Tamoguna Pradhana to Sattva-guna Pradhana. Then intellect can absorb Gnana. Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasa will help you to establish. So sadhana is required to prepare you for Shodhana. Shodhana is self-enquiry. There are some mature seekers. the moment they ask, who are you? Tattvamasi, they get established in truth. Probably they have done their sadhana in earlier life, or they are so mature, they are gifted, we can say. But most of the people, a good amount of preparation is required before they can receive jnana. Are we clear? Now, Karma Yoga, Upasana, and Kriya Yoga helps in Chitta Shuddhi. Then what is the purpose of Jnana, Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasa? That's the next question. See, there are many, many smart people in the world, intelligent. They have Sattva Guna, definitely. They have an intellect which is sharp. That intellect, they can do research in the world, they can do business, lot of money, but intellect is not subtle. The subtle intellect is required for Jnana, Atma Jnana. I very recently met a person who is a big businessman, very huge businessman, billions of dollars. And he has a big photo of Ramana Maharshi in his house. Being a big business, for a big business, he has to have a very sharp intellect. It's not easy. And he says, I am a devotee of Ramana Maharshi. But he has no clue what Ramana Maharshi has said. Because he has a sharp intellect, but focused on the objective world. The intellect has to be sharpened to understand subtle truths, very subtle truths. That sharpening of the intellect can happen is called Viveka. Viveka has to be awakened. And Vairagya has to be awakened. Viveka and Vairagya. This will happen with Shravana and Manana and Nididhyasa. The intellect becomes subtler and subtler to grasp the subtle truth of the self. The truth is very subtle. A very intelligent person can grasp external objective world, but subtle truths he can't grasp. That's why after Chitta Shuddhi, he has to come to Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasa. Both Chitta Shuddhi and Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasa, if it can be done under the competent master, a realized master, it will be very beneficial. If you do it on your own, that there are traps where Vasana and Samskara can get strengthened rather than the purification. Is this clear? Anybody has a question on Zoom?
Clear, Guruji.
So, I started with the question, Jnana is direct. Why can't we get Jnana and get done with it? Be done with it. So, Jnana is direct. Jnana, Atma Jnana, who am I? Shodhana is direct path. But for that, maturity is required. That is called sadhana. And sadhana means from tamoguna to rajoguna to sattoguna movement. Sharpening of the intellect to viveka and vairagya is called sadhana.
Guruji, one clarification.
Who is
asking? So, Ashwini Guruji.
Yes, Ashwini.
So, in that case, is it like a person sadhaka moves from tamoguna to rajoguna to sattoguna, and this process is cyclic. They get some jnana, they at whatever level they are in, they may understand only that part of it, and then again the cycle repeats. They may go to tamoguna.
Correct.
And
correct. Your question is, Chitta Shuddhi and Jnana, they can go together hand in hand. Is it like climbing a staircase, one step at a time? Yes, it is like that. So Swami Vivekananda says, Jnana is like climbing a mountain. Once you climb a mountain, you thought you received a peak. Then you see another mountain which is bigger, you start climbing that. So you go to one level of maturity, then you start going to next level of maturity. It goes in some steps. With some Chitta Shuddhi, some Jnana will settle in. And with some Jnana, Chitta Shuddhi becomes much easier. It's like it's not cyclic, it is a step. You understand? With some amount of calmness of mind, you can absorb some Jnana. And with that absorbed calmness of mind, Chitta Shuddhi becomes better. With Chitta Shuddhi, Jnana becomes better. Like that, it is a step. It's not a cyclic. You will not fall down. Is that answer?
Yes, Guruji.
Huh? It is a step. That's why, see, when somebody wants to start climbing a mountain, he'll climb a mountain. Oh, I've reached the top of the mountain. Then he realizes that's a bigger mountain. Right? This is what happened when we went to Kedarnath. A long walk. We think that, okay, we have reached. By the time we realize there's some more to go. Like that. So every time, every sadhana and shodhana will lead you to level where you feel, oh, you have almost reached. Then again you see something more is there. So, but you'll not fall back. You'll keep climbing.
Guruji, this question came because we think we have understood something. We have, like you said, we think we have reached there. Then we question, why is it then again I'm getting tamas? I have understood, and then how is it that I'm falling back? That
So
kind
you're
of,
not falling back.
comes.
If you ask me, you're not falling back. Okay, you are maturing. This is always a process of life, right? So you want to ride a cycle. 2 times pushing a pedal will not become make you expert in cycle. You'll fall fine. Couple of times you get up. There's no fallback in jnana or sadhana. There's always an incremental movement has happened. Because the other day I talked to you and you compared your state of mind 10 years back to today, lot of improvement. Is it not? It's not maturity?
Yes, Guruji.
Huh? You're not fallen back.
Yes, Guruji.
Only thing is we always want an expressway. We want to go fast. The maturity in life, it has its own cycle, no?
Yes, Guruji.
So everybody wants to be enlightened yesterday, not even today.
Yes.
Okay. But
We want it right now.
we want it right now. It's always now only. Okay. Enlightenment is here and now only. But your frame of mind is not here and now. Your maturity of mind is not here and now. So some amount of maturity, some jnana, some amount of maturity, some jnana. Like that, it's a climbing process.
Yes, Guruji. Got it, Guruji.
One might direct in Shodhana. But in the same purpose, you said performance is also direct.
Yeah.
Direct.
Is it like, Guruji, a fresh load of samskaras, vasanas come out?
1 minute. There's a question here.
So then, that you say Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana,
Mhm.
but for Surami, you are not saying the.
Okay. So there is a question here. Jnana is direct. In jnana, there are 2 approaches. One is called direct path and other is called traditional path. Traditional path, the teaching is Tattvamasi, you are Brahman. But you go through various scriptures, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa. Whereas direct path of Brahmamashi, you don't have to go through Shravana, Manana, you have to inquire who am I. Both are jnana. Brahmamashi's path appears to be shorter and quicker, whereas Shravana, Manana, and Nididhyasa appears to be longer. Both are leading to jnana. Tattvamasi or traditional Vedanta path gives a teaching framework for Jiva, Ishvara, and Jagat or Maya. A bigger picture is understood properly. Then Jiva, who am I, is understood. So a bigger framework is created. Then my nature, Jiva, also is understood. So it requires study of scriptures, getting maturity. With that maturity, you can just go to Jiva, self-enquiry. Traditional Vedanta path involves Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara. Jagat is also Maya. Jiva, Maya, and Ishvara. You get a bigger picture, clear picture. Without bigger picture, just inquiring self and whom I am, people keep on inquiring millions of years. Those who have maturity of Chitta Shuddhi and a good understanding of bigger picture can go to Jiva based inquiry, Jiva Vichara, which is called out of 3 Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, Jiva Vichara, they can go straight away. That's the final focus. But to come to the final focus, where they have come through, can you come directly? The mature seeker has to come. Mature seeker means his Chitta Shuddhi has happened and he has a background of traditional understanding of Vedanta, he can come. Either in this life or past life. If you don't have bigger picture, just who am I, the answer will be something comes from your vasana and samskara. The mind has to be prepared, no? Mind should get a bigger picture, then sharper picture. Is that clear? So, traditional Vedanta gives a bigger picture. Jiva, individual, Jagat, world and Maya, Ishvara, God, and relationship between them, you understand. Then you understand I am Brahman, Tattvamasi, which requires Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasa, certain amount of preparation. Self-enquiry, close your eyes and inquire, who am I? Those who don't have a background preparation, those who don't have a background maturity, who am I? Answer will come. I am the husband, I am the wife, I am Brahman. All those answers will come. But the intellect is not subtle enough to grasp the truth. Only if you are a mature seeker, you have done sadhana in this life or other life, the Atma Vichara is very stable, very quick and direct. That's why Ramana Maharshi says, self-inquiry is very suitable for a mature seeker. He does not define what is maturity is. Maturity means Chitta Shuddhi and a bigger understanding of the life. No. Traditional Vedanta includes Atma Vichara. Traditional Vedanta includes three aspects: Brahma Vichara, Ishvara, Jagat Vichara, Maya, and Jiva Vichara, Atma Vichara. It includes all the three. Tattvamasi is Jiva and Jag, Ishvara, connection. So, traditional Vedanta involves three: Jiva, which is myself, Ishvara, Brahman, Jagat or Maya. And relationship between them is understood. Tattvamasi is relationship between Jiva and Ishvara. For that, Maya has to be overcome. So you get a clearer picture in traditional Vedanta. Ashwini, you are asking some question?
Or something comes, and then again we overcome that.
So basically, the question is, I get some jnana, I do some Chitta Shuddha, I get some jnana, then again Chitta Shuddhi, again jnana. It is a stepwise. What happens is, at each stage, when Chitta Shuddhi happens, grosser vasanas will go, subtler vasanas will come. Similarly with jnana, grosser aspect of jnana you understood, subtler aspect opens up. The mind becomes more and more subtler and subtler as you move up. For example, Chitta Shuddhi. Earlier you used to get angry. Okay? You didn't even know there's a problem there. Now you become more aware of why I'm getting angry. The mind has become more subtle. So gradually mind becomes more and more subtle, and the more and more subtle mind is able to recognize more and more subtle aspect of Chitta and Buddhi, Jnana. It's that new things are not about. Okay? You are able to recognize subtle things, sharper things.
Yes, Guruji.
Is it clear?
Yes, Guruji.
So, if there are no more questions, I'll close this question. I'll take up a next question.